I mean, I just want to make one thing clear before we get into it. The absolute best programs out there are also going to be the boringest programs. Why? It's because there's going to be a lot of repetition of the same movements. I'm talking about any type of personal trainer, athletic coach, strength and conditioning coach, anyone who's prescribing any type of exercises to any type of clients or athletes. They can verify, they understand that the best programs realistically are going to be boring. All right, you don't need to do all this fancy things you do on social media, all these crazy exercises claim to be functional. No. Keep it simple, keep it to the basics, and you'll see the results that you want. Even though these workouts are going to be boring and basic, there are still certain things that you have to make sure that you include in them. What's up everyone, David here. Got a new video for y'all today, but before we get into it, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you miss out on any new videos. Because remember, new videos on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, so don't miss out. So today we're going to be talking about programming. What are the things that you need to be including in your workouts? Before we get into it, I just want to break down something. Back in the day, and even up until this point right now, there's a lot of controversy between exercises being deemed as functional or not functional. Now, a lot of people, I feel like they don't really understand what does it mean when it says functional. I feel like that's just a word that's just being thrown around to make them sound smart. But realistically, in my opinion, functional just means how much carryover an exercise in a particular workout routine has carryover to your activities of daily living. ADLs. ADLs are things like walking upstairs, carrying groceries, taking a load of laundry from one point A to point B. You know, everyday tasks that you do. Closing the car door, picking things off the ground, you know, picking up a baby, your child, putting things up onto a shelf. Those are just regular activities, regular movements that we do every day. Now, for an exercise to be functional, that means it needs to have some type of carryover. If you improve and get stronger at this certain exercise in the gym, it's gonna help you in this regular activity that you do every day. So you see, that's what functional is. Now, realistically, a lot of trainers, celebrity trainers, Hollywood trainers, social media influencers, these wannabe fitness gurus, they talk about all these exercises. Oh yeah, you got to do this because it's functional. You got to, like the people that stand on the stability ball upset, or like the half of the Bosu ball, like that yoga ball that's cut in half, and they try to balance themselves on it, or they do squats on top of a regular yoga ball saying that's functional. But when are you ever going to be on some type of surface like that where it's really that unstable? Most of us, we're going to be walking on the ground. We're walking on a sidewalk. We're walking inside our home. I mean, that's just a bit much. All right, we don't need to be doing all that. So what exercises are important? What is it that we need to include in our workout programs? Well, realistically, there are 7 main movements that every workout program should include. Now, they don't all have to be under the same day, under the same workout, but at one point or another during your training week split, whether you're on a 3-day, 4-day, 5, 6-day split, whatever it is, you need to address each one of these 7 movements at least once throughout the week, or at least train it at some point or another throughout the week. So let's start breaking it down. Number 1, and these are called right here, this right here, this is what you call the primal movement patterns. Why is it called primal movement pattern? It's because since the primal days, our ancestors, the cavemen, the cave women, we have been doing these movements since the birth of humans, all right? Since day 1, year 1, everyone has been doing these movements, and we continue to do them right now, and we will still do them in the future. So first thing we got is going to be the squat. All right, squat is real simple. You're standing up, you're sitting on a chair. All right, why is this important? Exactly the way I just said. There are so many movements that we do throughout the day where it's going to require us to do this. Bending at the hips, bending at the knees. I'm talking about sitting on a chair, getting on and off out of a car, you know, things like that. We're constantly going to be going into a squat position and standing up from that squat position. So what do we need to do in the gym when we're working out? We got to train the same movement. Now, when we do a squat, it doesn't always have to be with a bar on your back. No, it's just any type of movement that is resembling a squat pattern. It could be a goblet squat, it could be a hack squat, barbell squat, front squat, doesn't matter. All right, you just need to be doing something where you're forcing your hips and your knees to extend. You got to force yourself to stand up. All right, get what I'm saying? That's gonna be the first movement. Second primal movement is gonna be what we call a hinge. Now, a lot of people, they may not know what hinging is, but you do know the exercises that are associated with it. Hinging basically means right here, we're bending at the hip, bending down and coming back up. So think of it like you're locking out your hips. Why is this important? It's because a lot of times throughout the day, what do? We pick things off the ground. That's what the hinging allows us to do. We don't necessarily squat down to the ground to pick something up. No, it's more along the lines of we hinge, we bend at our hips, grab whatever's on the ground, and then pick it up. So what do we need to do at the gym? We need to resemble that hinging motion by picking things off the ground. I'm talking about RDLs, I'm talking about deadlifts, I'm talking about hex bars. I mean, those three alone, you just need to pick things off the ground. Back straight. Biggest emphasis here is the hip movement. All right, a lot of mistakes that people make is when they start hinging, they can't do it correctly because they're thinking too much about a squat. They're bending too much at the knees. No, emphasis on the hinge is pushing your hips back. All right, bending at the hip. Emphasis at the squat is sinking the hips down. So you see, that's gonna be the biggest differentiator between the two. Third movement right here, we got the lunge. All right, by lunge, I mean supporting your weight on one leg at a time. So I mean, think about it, we got so many different types of lunges that we do. We got a forward lunge, we got a reverse lunge, we even got lateral lunges, we got walking lunges. All right, you get what I'm trying to say here. And there's even slight variations of it. If you can't do a regular lunge, you can always do step ups. All right, basically you're supporting your weight and pushing off of one leg at a time. Why is that so important? This is going to be very specific to even those who are maybe a little older in age. So if you're watching this, maybe show this to your parents so they get the idea. When we're walking upstairs, what are we doing? We're pushing off of one leg at a time. That's why you need to strengthen it. All right. When you're crossing the street and you got to step up onto the curb, what are you doing? You're pushing off of one leg. When it comes to the older population, there's a higher risk of them falling. Why? It's because once they trip, what's everyone's instant reaction is to put one leg forward to catch yourself. What if you don't have that leg strength to, maybe you could put your leg forward, but you don't have the leg strength to actually absorb, you know, the impact and put yourself back up to keep you from continuing to fall. So you see, that's why it's real important to do lunging motions. Now, I don't necessarily think it's important to necessarily do a lunge. It's more of just, you need to train unilateral. You got to do movements where you train one leg at a time. You got to push, extend your knee one leg at a time. So even just like a single leg press, any type of regular lunging motion, step ups, those sort of things, that's what's going to really apply to here. Alright, that pretty much covers the lower body movements, or at least majority of the lower body movements. Now let's move on to upper body. We got push. Now, push is a special one because it realistically, it's not just one movement. I know we said there's gonna be 7 movements, but realistically, there's more than that. There's 9. The reason why is because push is one of those few where it gets divided into 2 subgroups. We got a vertical push, and then we also got a horizontal push. Now, what are the difference between the two? Well, first off, just to know, a push means it's exactly what it sounds like. You're pushing the weight away from you. All right, you want the resistance to go away from you. Get over there, away. All right. Horizontal push is the common one that we all do. Why? Because bench press is pretty popular, dumbbell bench press, machine press. You know, a lot of horizontal movements are where your arm is perpendicular to your torso. Right, you see, so it creates this 90-degree angle. That's horizontal push. Vertical push is when your arms are parallel with your torso. So a lot of shoulder pressing, whether it be with a barbell or a dumbbell. Why are these important? Because think about things that we do every day. Do you not grab the groceries and put them up onto a shelf? Is there not any point where you're putting your clothes up on a hanger up in the closet? Again, what are you doing? You're raising your arm. That's a lot of vertical pushing. For horizontal pushing, do you not push a drawer closed? Do you not push a door open? You see, a lot of this is horizontal pushing. So you see, it's really important to practice these movements. Now, a lot of people, especially under horizontal push, again, we talk about that's going to be a lot of pressing, bench pressing specific. Say, well, bench press is not that functional. Okay, well, take away the muscles that consist of that movement, the pecs, the front delt, and the tricep. Think about it, if you're not even benching, you don't have those muscles to do that. You wouldn't be able to push your arm in front of you. So is bench press functional? Because people say, oh yeah, I'm never gonna actually, you know, be on my back and press something up. It's not functional. I don't do that everyday life. Yeah, but you do squats, but you're never actually gonna have something like that on your back every day when you squat up and down. No, the only times you're gonna be squatting up and down throughout the day is either to sit down in a chair, go on the toilet, or sit down in your car. So you tell me if it's functional or not. Vertical Easy. A lot of people putting things up on a shelf, gotta train that overhead press. All right, you gotta have that strength in the shoulders and just overall your pressing muscles. I'm talking about pecs, front delt, triceps. Now, moving on to pull. Same thing as push. It's divided into vertical. I'm just gonna put vert, stands for vertical, and then I don't want to actually cut that down to hor. Some people might get offended, so I'll actually spell it out. Horizontal. All right, same thing. Vertical pull. Now this one's we're gonna get real specific. Again, same rules. The arms are moving parallel to the body. Horizontal, arms are moving perpendicular to the body, to the torso. Now, with the vertical ones, there's two movements. Everyone only thinks about vertical pulls, like a lat pull down, pull ups, chin ups, things like that. It's not only that. Think about it. It's not that you have to pull something from up here and pull it down. It also can be from something down here that you're pulling up. Now, which one is more quote unquote functional? Well, I can't think of too many things or too many activities that people do throughout the day where it requires them to pull something down like that. But I could think of a few where people are picking things off like that. Think about it. You got your bag of groceries and you got to lift them up onto a counter. What are you doing? You're doing an upright row to put it on there. All right. You're picking up your child, putting them in the car seat. What are you doing? Up, pull, upright row, boom, put them in the car seat. Things like that. So when it comes to your vertical pulls, it's not always just about the pull downs. Add some type of upright row variation. You're going to see it. It's going to help you out with those ADLs, those activities of daily living. We got horizontal rows. Those, same thing. Arm perpendicular to the body. I'm talking about any type of regular row. Bent over rows, cable rows, one arm dumbbell rows, T-bar rows, anything like that. That's going to help you out. Why? Because throughout the day, what do? Do we not pull a door open? You see, whether it be a car door, you're walking into a restaurant, you're constantly going to be pulling things open. Even if it's not a door, what about a small drawer? Like let's just say your kitchen drawers, trying to grab a knife, a fork, a spoon, you have to pull it open, do you not? So you see, it's little things like that that are really going to help out. So that's it for those. Now, next, what do we got? We got right here, and I'm gonna write it down here just for some more room. We got rotation. Okay, now rotation is pretty much gonna be your main core work, or it's gonna be emphasizing your core work. It's literally what it sounds like, rotating like this. This right here is what you call the transverse plane. That's where we're moving along. You don't have to worry too much about the planes, but just know we don't train enough in the transverse plane. At least that's just my opinion. A lot of bodybuilders, everyone, it's just a lot of sagittal plane. You don't know what that is? Look it up. It's just nerd talk. But rotation, we need to start doing more. A lot of people, they emphasize a lot of the crunching, a lot of sit-ups, leg raises, things for the abs. But keep in mind, for functionality reasons, also don't neglect the rotation, the obliques right here on your sides. If you're training for aesthetic reasons to look better, then yeah, maybe training your obliques might widen out a little bit of your waist, but it's not that drastic. It's not like these muscles are huge. Do it just more to prevent injuries. I mean, think about it. How many times have you heard someone maybe working in a warehouse, they pick up a box and they twist to put it on the cart or put it on the conveyor belt, and then boom, they feel a pop. You see, we don't train this motion a lot. And what happens when you don't use something? You lose it. All right, you either use it or you lose it. So if you're not training this rotational movement that our bodies are naturally meant to do, then sooner or later, the one day when you actually have to rely on it and twist against resistance, man, you might pop something in your back. So start doing those Russian twists, start doing those pal-off twists with the cables. Again, train the spine in all the different directions that it's meant to move. Our spine is not just meant to go up and down like this. No, our spine was meant to go side to side like this, and then twist from the left to the right as well. Now, after that, we got gait, and this is going to be the final movement pattern. Not G-A-T-E, G-A-I-T. All that means is realistically is locomotion. Again, nerd talk is just a fancy way of saying walking, moving from point A to point B on your legs. Why is this important? It's because simply, you know, everyone just moves from point A to point B. We're all walking from here to there, from the bathroom to the living room, from the car to the entrance of the supermarket, you know, from the parking lot to work. We're always gonna be walking. Now, specifically when it comes to training this, I want you all to do loaded carries. I'm talking about either grabbing an object and walking with it through means of like a keg or a sandbag, or just grabbing dumbbells or some type of weights on your hand and doing farmer's walks. Okay, why is this important? It's because think about it. What are the activities that we do every day? We carry groceries. We carry loads of laundry. We carry our children. You know, you have a newborn, you got a baby, you understand. All of that is pretty much just walking with additional weight loaded on you. You're going to Costco, all right? You're picking up a case of the water bottles. You have to walk it over to your car. Once you load up in your car, from your car to the front entrance of your home, you got to walk it, okay? What can you do then? You can practice that at the gym. Grab a 45, walk with it, good posture. If you have a strongman access gym, or if you have access to a strongman gym, you have kegs, that mimics exactly what a keg is. Think about it like this. You're carrying a load of laundry. Again, that mimics a keg, or just practice with weight plates, holding it, good posture, shoulders back, and walk with it. You're carrying a child right here. Okay, start practicing that. Grab a medicine ball, grab something, a small sandbag, put it right here in the crease of your elbow, walk with it, practice not leaning towards the side, don't let that weight drag you down, practice standing upright, you work a little bit more core from one side only, you know, you're resisting that bending motion, things like that. All right, when we do groceries, regular, one bag in each hand, okay, now grab a pair of dumbbells and walk with them. You see, a lot of movements we do throughout the day are gonna be right there, falling under gait. So we need to practice them. We need to get stronger at them at the gym, so that way when we carry those cases of water, we carry our children, when we carry, you know, our loads of laundry, just everyday things, it won't feel as difficult. That's why it's important to train these seven movements, but realistically it's 9 because these 2 are divided into 2. That's why it's important to train them, because if you can get stronger by practicing these movements at the gym, you're gonna see that all the different activities you do throughout the day, whether it be in your own personal life at home or at work, you know, whatever the demands of your job are, especially like those jobs that are construction, plumbing, you know, those blue collar jobs, you're gonna see a lot of that. I mean, concrete workers, do you not have to pick up heavy bags of concrete from the floor? Okay, that's your hinging motion, getting it off from the floor. Okay, do you not load them up onto your shoulder and walk with them? Is that not your gait? Do you not have to carry them up a ladder? Okay, that's gonna be your lunging pattern. You see, it's real important to train all of these. If you do, you get strong with them outside the gym, it's gonna be a lot easier for you. Hopefully this video was helpful for everyone. Again, I just want to point this out. The best programs are going to be the boringest. If you just stick to these 7 movements and that's all you do, you will still see amazing results as long as you're pushing yourself with the right amount of resistance, you know, putting in the effort. But you don't have to do all this fancy shit that everyone else says that, oh yeah, no, this is functional. No, it's not. These are the functional movement patterns. These are the primal movement patterns. These are the important movements that you should be doing. Comment down below any other video suggestions you'd like to see me do, whether it be about mindset, motivation, nutrition, diet, workouts, programs, whatever it is. Comment down below. I'd be more than happy to help you out. Be sure to subscribe not just to this channel, but my girlfriend's channel, our couple's channel, so you don't miss out on any new videos. Because remember, we got new videos every week across the board for all 3 channels. For this channel specifically, new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, so don't miss out. And then Instagram and TikTok, same thing. Be sure to follow me on my accounts, girlfriend's accounts, couple's accounts. I put all the links down in the description below. With that being said, I'll catch y'all next time.